It's February 11th. It's day 23 of the Trump presidency, and we have really moved into idiocracy territory. I'm going to start off with a headline that may or may not surprise you at this point. I mean, I would say that I'm embarrassed, but I think it's unbelievable that this is reality. I think they're going to put the Onion out of business, to be honest with you. So they're working on, I don't know if it's a mandate. They made some sort of official statement about their intention to purchase Greenland. They're dead ass serious. But wait, there's more. What do they want to name it? What do you think they want to name it? Please brace yourself. They want to name it Red, White, and Blue Land. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Yeah, so that's something that happened today that the rest of the world is aware of. And we have to just go on and, live with the shame. We have a long episode tonight because there's a lot going on. So I'm going to kind of start to zip through this. Democrats are asking the Justice Department inspector to investigate Kash Patel. Kash Patel made a statement during his confirmation hearing, I'm assuming under oath, saying that there would not be a purge of the FBI. And yet, here he is, heavily involved in purging the FBI. I think that people in our government need a serious wake-up call when it comes to believing that these people mean the words that they say even under oath. No, they don't. And I think very quickly they're going to start to understand just like the level of the crisis that we're in. It's becoming more apparent. In any case, even if they investigate these people, and we're going to get into this in a little bit, even if they investigate Kash Patel, now what? Because the Trump administration is very clearly defying a bunch of court orders right now. So what are you going to do if someone's not following court orders or not following process? Now what? Are you prepared to what? If you can't impeach him, if you can't get enough Republicans to agree to that, and even if you try to impeach them, will they leave? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where this is going? It's nowhere good. It's not good. The Pope, I almost called him the Pump. That would have been real weird. I mean, I told you, so now it is weird. The Pope rebuked Trump's immigration policies in a public statement today. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing at all Christian about Donald Trump. And anyone who is even very vaguely familiar with Christianity understands that. But I think that, people who are, men like the Pope or women who have truly devoted their lives to the Bible and to Jesus, probably are starting to feel a little bit offended / disgusted. Some people who claim to be Christians are fully on board with everything he's doing. But people who are truly trying to live in by Christ's words are not going to be okay with the things that are happening. And in any case, I'm sure that the Pope is going to draw probably a lot of ire and criticism for making that statement. Again, the world is kind of getting separated into two sides. It's not just the United States. Other countries are taking a stance on all this as well. And if you're curious what that is, you should go look it up, because a lot of other countries are really horrified by what's happening. I'm telling you guys this piece just in case, because I want you guys to be safe. There was a giant recall on tuna canned tuna from Trader Joe's and Costco for botulism, potential contamination of botulism. Sounds like some of the cans were maybe faulty. They didn't shut properly, could have let air in. And all of the, not line items, like the batch numbers are listed online. So you can go check if you have tuna from Trader Joe's or Costco. I think there might be one other brand called Heb or something. I'm not familiar with that brand. Anyways, if you purchased tuna recently, go look it up so that you're not eating botulism, please. Elon Musk started to throw around the idea of purchasing OpenAI. Sam Altman publicly made a statement and said, no, thank you. And instead turned around and made an offer back to buy Twitter for $9.4 billion, which I believe didn't Musk buy it for... Did he buy it for $40 billion? Am I making that up? Anyways, that's just there's just very wealthy men peeing on each other in public. Let's put it that way. I watched part of this and I didn't finish because I can't stand him. But Elon Musk stood in the Oval Office today and said, next to Trump, while they giggled together like schoolgirls, as a reporter was asking them, hey, a lot of the American people are really scared about the shit you're doing and the fact that you're dismantling all these government agencies that we need and that you're not following court orders to reinstate them. And Elon Musk said that they were given a mandate by the people because they control the House, they control the Senate, they are in the presidency, that they were given a mandate to completely restructure our government because that's what the people wanted. That's the platform they ran on, Project 2025. He didn't say Project 2025, but it is the platform they ran on. And so they thought that's what you wanted, you guys. Do I believe that they actually won? No, I don't. I will never believe that. In any case, it is what's happening. And he made it real clear, like they have no intention of stopping. And they keep pushing back. I mean, JD Vance is pushing back. Elon Musk is pushing back against the court orders that are trying to reinstate these services and say, back off, like you guys need to release these funds. And they're just not doing it. Evidence has disappeared. Evidence in relation to January 6th and everything that happened has disappeared from public access. Again, does any of this stuff surprise you guys? It doesn't surprise me. They told us what they were going to do. To be fair, Elon's telling the truth. They gave us a clear understanding of what was going to happen. And, I mean, did Trump lie about it a bunch? Yeah, but y'all should know better. You know, I mean, not you. Anyone watching this, I'm sure, knows and knew what was coming. But the people, Republicans who believed Trump when he said he had nothing to do with Project 2025, even though like he was closely involved with all of those people. And that was all over the news. It was very open. It was very easy to find that information. Anyways, you know, a lot of those people are going to pay the price. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Some things that are already starting to affect Republicans as well. You know, it's not going to be, and now they're coming out and saying like, there's going to be a lot of pain for the American people. Elon Musk is saying that, and Trump is saying that there's going to be pain. There's going to be pain. I guess you guys wanted pain. Now NPR is openly asking the question. They had an article today. Are we in a constitutional crisis? I read about half of the interview and I kind of lost interest because, again, I consider myself, I guess, a leftist or maybe an independent at this point. I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm disgusted, maybe. Anyways, the person they're interviewing, I'm sure that they're trying to just like do a good job with the interview, remain an upstanding citizen. I don't even remember. It was some lady and she's an expert and they're asking, is this a constitutional crisis? And she says, the first part of a constitutional crisis has already happened, basically, that Trump and his administration are totally overstepping their power. They're stepping outside of executive power and the limits of executive power. So they've already done that. She said the second piece of a constitutional crisis comes when that same administration does not listen to and comply with the courts. In this article, again, I don't know when this interview happened. She says, like, that's not fully happening yet. But here's the thing. Yes, it is. There's all kinds of, like, for instance, the USAID funding. There's $8.6 billion that was already allocated through this organization to be sent out. The court said, fucking give it back. The Trump administration hasn't done that, and no one knows where the money is. So, I mean, is that not, like, what more are we waiting for here? And yet again, the question becomes, now what? What are you going to do? Is someone going to physically drag them out of the office? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is where it comes to the point of, like, the question of a civil war, essentially. And then, you know, if this government is controlling most of the military, and this is why a lot of people just went along in World War II. Because things have to hit such an extreme rock bottom that people are willing to take actions like go to war in order to stop the thing. I mean, if we were a different country and a different type of people, I don't think it would have ever gotten this far. But Americans have become very complacent, and they have a strong belief that says this can't happen to us, right? Sorry, my neck is really bothering me today. This can't happen to us. And yet, here we are, and it is happening to us. So I feel that they're striking while the iron is hot by doing all of these things up front very quickly, destabilizing the entire government. And it's working in so many ways. And if they do that while people are still in shock, then they don't push back as much. And by the time they start to realize they need to push back, there may not be a structure to push back against. And I think that they're counting on that. Because all these judges, all these things that they've done, almost all of them are illegal, right? Okay, so a judge also today ordered the restoration of the CDC website and all the other health agency websites. Will it happen? Probably not. And again, now what? What are you going to do? Put people in jail? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a really big deal. It's unprecedented. We have people, I mean, it is a coup, no doubt. And we have people in office that have there's no part of them that feels any pressure to adhere to the rule of law. Frankly, the truth is, they have more to lose by adhering to the rule of law than they do by completely breaking the law right now. Because if they adhere to the rule of law, they may start to have to face consequences for some of the things that they're doing. If they push through and completely ignore all of this, they have a chance of completely breaking the system so that there are no consequences for them ever. And they can just take what they want. Finances, power, just take it. Who's going to stop them? Speaking of which, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a bunch of the top officials resigned because they were ordered to stop work. And also, what is being said behind closed doors to all these people and all these organizations? Really? What do you think they're saying to them? I have some ideas about what I think they're saying to them. And so even if there's a court order to reinstate that organization, and I would guess that there will be, the damage has been done. Will those people come back? Now what? Do you see? Like, and also, there's a bunch of work sitting on their desks that's just not getting done in the meantime. Protecting our money in the banks, by the way, that's one of the responsibilities of that organization. A bank can just take all your money now and nothing happens. How does that make you feel? It's not a good time to be living in this particular society. And these people are like a combination of complete idiots and then just like the most audacity you've ever seen in your entire life. Speaking of which, Trump made a statement today. You should go watch the video. When they were asking him, okay, you keep saying that we're going to buy Gaza, that the United States is going to buy Gaza. Now you're backtracking from that. So what's going on? And Trump said, we don't need to buy Gaza. There's nothing to buy. Gaza is ours. Gaza will be ours. Again, the brazenness. It puts these other countries in a position where they are now scared because a lot of these other countries like Jordan and Egypt, they're like, no, 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 no. However, now they're coming here. Jordan, I think the king of Jordan is supposed to come here to have a meeting with Trump. I don't know if they're going to, and they're, by the way, he reiterated, like, they're moving the Palestinians out of Gaza. I know there are so many, like the UK, BBC had an article a few days ago saying like, that's never going to happen. I think people need to like take a deep breath and understand that we are not playing by the rules. Like there's no rules. People, other countries think these things won't happen because they're used to dealing with like a normal human being that has limits. He doesn't. He doesn't. And this is why the people who saw that, who understood that, knew the potential ramifications of a second Trump presidency. And by the time everyone realizes that we're all eating shit, it's going to be too fucking late. NASA was given orders to scrub any mention of women in leadership from its websites. And I believe they just did it. House Republicans want to raise student loan bills, monthly payments, by an average of $200 in order to make up the difference for the tax cuts that they're giving to the wealthiest people in this country. If I could just like blast this all directly into the eardrums of everyone in this country right now, trust me, I would. Because again, I think, you know, that TikTok farmer, because I actually was about to mention this, Trump froze millions in USDA funding meant for U.S. farmers. So there's that farmer on TikTok who got screwed over. By the way, a judge is trying to save his ass and telling the government they have to pay because they already had a contract with this guy. Is the Trump administration going to comply with that? Well, he never has given a single fuckity fuck about a law before in his entire life. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with those farmers are never going to see a dime of the money they were promised. And now that farmer on TikTok is saying, you know, he's changing his mind about Trump. He very readily admitted like none of that stuff ever affected him. He didn't care about gay people. He didn't care about women because it didn't affect him. He didn't care. Now it's affecting him. He's online saying this. Brave of him to openly admit he has literally no empathy and only cares about himself. However, what happens to the farmers in this country very much affects every single person in this country. If you think the food prices are high now, baby, wait until you see what happens when farmers all across this country don't get the millions of dollars they were promised. Farming is a hard-ass job, not just a hard-ass job, it's very expensive. That equipment is incredibly expensive, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with climate change and crop loss, it's even harder. So what do you think these people are going to do? They're either going to give up and go bankrupt and get a different kind of job, or You know, they're going to jack the prices literally all the possible way up so that they can recoup their loss. This is the last story. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking exasperated. If you can't tell, these headlines are just like, oh, we're in phase 2 now. Google removed from their calendars, all their calendars, Pride Month, Black History Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, Jewish Heritage Day. I don't know. It just says Jewish Heritage, Hispanic Heritage, Indigenous People Month. So erasure is real. And I think I will say one more thing, and that's this. There are Republicans online bitching and complaining about how all of Kendrick Lamar's dancers were Black. Oh, so now you have a problem with him not having DEI policies, because that's DEI, babe. And by the way, if they think that we're not going to fight back by only patronizing businesses that care about my existence as a woman, your existence as a Black person, like, the most power we have is in sticking together. And yeah, if I ever open a business, I'm not hiring people who don't think I should have rights as a human being. Like, what do you not understand about that, people? No, artists are not going to be inclusive back to you. This is like, when you start this ball rolling, this ball is rolling. And we will do everything in our power to defend ourselves and our lives and our existence. Absolutely everything. So anyways, I think that living through this time is going to change everyone that lives through it. And perhaps that always happens, right? You know, there's always these turning points in history that reshape what it means to be a human being. I'm very disappointed. I thought that we had come much further as a species spiritually. But as it turns out, you know, the level of racism and sexism that still exists in this country is actually like really, truly horrifying. Truly horrifying. And I think those people need a big fucking reality check. So, you know, I believe in matching energy, and I will teach everyone I can how to do that. And I will be spending the rest of my life doing that. I am not an MLK girly. I am a Malcolm girly. Anyways, see you tomorrow.